Okay, solving compound inequalities, which is topic 6 in your packet. Basically, you've graphed them so far. In topic 5, we graphed compound inequalities. Now we're going to be solving. So, with or statements, you want to solve one, solve the second, and then graph both solutions. Graph both solutions. Okay, with and statements. There are two different types of and statements. As we get there, I will show you both of them. But one of them is connected. If you look down, it's like number 4. Examples 4, 5, and 6 are all and statements that are connected. What you can do is you could separate into 2 inequalities and then solve each. And I'll show you how to do that and graph. Okay, so the first two. Oh, number 1 is an and statement. That's just 2 of them. So this one you don't have to separate. It's already separated. So what I like to do is draw a line. We're going to solve the one on the left. To do that, we subtract 2. You get C is less than or equal to 1. Solve the one on the right. This one I'm going to minus the 4. So I get negative C is greater than negative 2. And now I have to divide by a negative 1. Remember, when you divide by a negative, you need to multiply or divide by a negative. We need to flip the inequality, so it becomes C is less than 2. Then we graph both. So you have graphed now these from topic 5, but it's C is less than or equal to 1, and C is less than negative 2, or less than 2. So I'm going to do this graph up here a little bit. So if we have 1 here and 2 here, I have less than or equal to 1 and less than 2, which means it's an and statement. It's only where they're both shaded, so that is from 1 down. So my answer would be C is less than or equal to 1, and my graph would just look like that. Okay. Number 2, it's an or statement. Let's just graph or solve. We divide by negative 1 on the left. So again, flip that inequality. It's n is greater than negative 2. On the right, to solve here, we add 3 first. You get 2n plus 8. That's a 3. 2n is greater than 8. Divide by 2, you get n is greater than 4. So I have n is greater than 2, or n is negative 2, or n is greater than 4. So again, this is kind of the double one. You have negative 2, looks like this. Greater than 4 looks like this. This is an or statement. So if you remember from topic 5, that means we have all of it. So our answer would be n is greater than negative 2. And it looks like that. Okay. Next page. And my website and I'm not working very well. Okay, on to number 3. Number 3 is an or statement, so we are going to solve each one. Here I add 1. I get 2x is less than 0. Divide by 2, I have x is less than 0. On the right, when I add 1, I get 2x is greater than 2. Divide by 2, I have x is greater than 1. So 0 and 1 on my number line, less than 0, greater than 1, and it's an or statement, so that's fine. Okay? Should write or in between those. All right, number 4 is an and statement. You can solve this in 2 different ways. One way is to split it up into 2. So what this says is 4 is less than 2x minus 2, and 2x minus 2 is less than 10. Okay, the whole thing in the middle goes with both. Then we solve. Add the 2. So you get 6 is less than 2x. Divide by 2. So 3 is less than x. And remember, I like to flip that around, so it's going to be x is greater than 3. And on this side, add the 2. I have 2x is less than 12. And divide by 2, x is less than 6. So x is greater than 3 and less than 6. So just going to do on the bottom here, greater than 3 and less than 6 means I just have what's in the middle. So there's my graph. And that is my whole answer right there. Okay. Next, we have number 5. Again, this is an and statement, so we just split it up. Okay, we have 14 is less than or equal to 3h plus 2, and 3h plus 2 is less than 2. Okay, and then we just solve them. So we minus the 2, we get 12, and divide by 3, you get h is greater than or equal to 4 when you flip it around. On the right, when you subtract 2, you get 3h is less than 0. Divide by 3, h is less than 0. So less than 0, greater than or equal to 4. This is an and statement, remember? So that is no solution. You can't be less than 0 and greater than 4. Okay? Now, number 6, I'm going to do a little bit differently. What I want you to think of is if and I don't know how to do this without scribbling it out. I guess I'll just scribble it out. If you, cover up from here on, so if you cover up this way, what would you do to solve that problem? Well, we'd multiply both sides by 2. So multiply both sides by 2, but now you want to think of, okay, I need to multiply everything by 2, so you multiply all 3 sides by 2. So now I have 8 is less than or equal to, those 2's cancel, x minus 5 is less than 20. Okay? Now, again, cover up one side, so get rid of this. Just look here. What do we do to solve that? We add 5. So, now I have to write that. You did have 8 is less than or equal to, so now add 5 to that side as well. So 8 plus 5 is 13. Those cancel. I have x. 20 plus 5 is 25. This is when you graphed in topic 5 as well. You have 13, you have 25. This is less than or equal to, so that's closed. Less than, so that's open. X is in between them. Okay, so that's that one. And let's move this up to do number 7. On number 7, we have minus the 3. So you get x is greater than negative 5. And here on the right, we minus the 1. And then divide by 2, so x is less than 2. This is an or statement. So we have greater than negative 5, which looks like this, less than 2, which looks like this. Because it is or, that means everything is covered, and we have all real numbers. Okay, so that is it for your examples. Go ahead and do the U-tries.